Okay, so this is book 3 of my series, and the title of the book is All Apologies, Guilt, and Blame. This is also my third podcast about the series Life Beyond Silence. I, I guess you would say that I did the series Life Beyond Silence because, well, A, it's about my life and um, all the mistakes and all the wrongs that I have done throughout my life and how I feel about them. And I did the books a long time ago. I have every intention of updating Amazon as well with my series. But you can find my book, Not a Victim, a Survivor, Life Beyond Domestic Violence and Rape, on Amazon, on Barnes and Nobles, etc. You can find it in ebook form, and you can also find it in paperback. But it's hard to sit there and I guess read the writings from my book, or books I should say, without putting in more information than what's even been written. Um, in the podcast, both with the first book and the second book, um, the first book, like I said, is Life Beyond Domestic Violence and Rape, Not a Victim, a Survivor. The second book is called Losing Touch with Reality. And now the third book is All Apologies, Guilt, and Blame. But it's hard to read what I wrote so many years ago without adding to it. I just want desperately to keep saying that I know I made a lot of mistakes. I know that I did a lot of things that I shouldn't have done. I think everybody goes down a path in life, and I definitely took the wrong turn several times, and I'm sorry for that. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm extremely sorry for everything I've done throughout the years. Um, the only thing with being sorry for everything that you've done and having guilt for that is you can't take it back. You know, I made a lot of mistakes very early on in my life and continued to make them throughout the years. I ended up, however, having 4 beautiful children. And as I've said in the past in my podcast, the names of my children are in the books, but I did not want to add to the family drama or any um, I didn't want to say their names in the podcast just because it could hurt more feelings, and I've already heard enough. Um, Anyway, so I'm going to get started in this last book of the series, Life Beyond Silence. Again, it's titled All Apologies, Guilt, and Blame. And I hope for everyone that listens to my podcasts, I would hope that you would take the time to go back and start from book 1 and either listen to it or get it, like I said, from Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and there's other areas that you can get it from too. I'm not trying. I guess my purpose in telling you to start from the beginning is so that you know the whole story. But I appreciate everybody that listens to my podcast. And for anyone that's going through what I've been through or anything like it, I can only hope that you understand that you're not alone. There's a lot of other people like me that have gone through their life and made a lot of mistakes that they wish they could go back and change. But I think in the end, you can't, and you have to accept that you can't. And you have to accept what you've done and how you've hurt people. And I guess in this third book of the series, I'm hoping to explain more and tell how I feel and take the blame and the guilt for everything that's happened. And the title, All Apologies, actually, if you look it up, Google it or whatever, I know that Kurt Cobain, I think I said his name wrong, the singer of Nirvana, I know that he had either a song or a album titled All Apologies that came out right before his passing. And I am getting older every day, and I don't know how much time I have on this planet, but I can relate to my title of this book. I know my family already knows that I basically wish that I could go back and change things, but you can't. And unfortunately, in my family, once you make the mistakes that I have, there's no forgiveness for that. I remember actually, I'll probably say it again in this book, but, or in this podcast rather, but I remember when my daughter was, I don't know how old she was, but it was several years ago, and I was staying with my mother for a short period of time, and I asked my mother, do you think she'll ever forgive me? Ever. And my mother's comment was, why would she? Now, this is like decades after the mistake that I made. And you'll hear about it in the other books, and you'll hear about it in this book. But yeah, it's been decades. And all I wanted, or all I would hope to do, is speak to her. Just speak to her one more time before I die. And it's not that I'm looking for forgiveness, because I'm not. I guess I just asked my mom in that way because I just wanted to know if my mother thought that she would ever forgive me or ever just speak to me. And my mother said, why would she? And I love my mother, but I continue to think that the poison that my mother contributed to played into the situation. Even to this day, I'm sure there's a lot of poison that is out there that contributes to how my firstborn feels. And I understand that. I do. But it doesn't go unnoticed by me that there are people in this world that have done far worse than I have. Far worse. They've murdered people. They've committed crimes. They've been in prison. They've been on drugs. They've been a drug addict that had to go to rehab. All kinds of people in this world. And I'm not saying all of them get forgiven, but a lot of them are able to go back to their family, and their families understand that time has passed and family is family, but not in mine. So I'm going to stop here for the first episode, but the book, All Apologies, Guilt and Blame, is my third in my series, Life Beyond Silence. And I truly appreciate it for everyone that listens to my podcasts. Thank you very much.